Hello everyone, my name is Mutayama Khan. I am here to talk about dynamic binding. Let's dive in and explore this concept together. I'm First of all I'm going to tell you what is dynamic binding. Dynamic binding is performed during runtime because all of the information is necessary to perform that binding is not available at compile time, but it is available at runtime. So another name is late binding and runtime binding, which will make our program a little slower. Dynamic binding, I'm going to tell you about dynamic binding advantages. The main advantage of dynamic binding is it is very flexible and it allows us to decide which function definition we want to invoke at runtime. So we make that decision at runtime based on data. Dynamic binding happens when we use virtual function or function overriding. So in shortly, I'm going to tell you what is overriding and what is virtual function. So first I'm going to tell you what is overriding. Overriding used with dynamic binding, and it is achieved when we create inside child class a newer version of a function. Or then I'm going to tell you what is virtual function. Now I'm talking about virtual function. Ensure that the correct function is called for an object, regardless of the type of reference or pointers used for the function call. Now I'm going to performing my program. So I want to create two classes. First one, which will be base class, is called user. So I want to make base class is user. And the second one, which will be child class or drive class, is called super user. I will say public because all of the members of a class are private by default, and unless we say public explicitly, those members will not be available outside of the class. That is why I'm putting public here. And here. I will create a method with the same parameter and the same name inside this class. Now I'm going to putting this SSM modifier. So let's create a method called getPermission. So I'm going to put here void. This is the override function, so I'm going to put here override. it will not receive any parameter inside this method. So I'm going to see out here, see out user can see limited info and I want to put here again see out super user can see all of the info. Same name, same parameter, but different implementation. As I said, same name, same parameter, but different implementation to achieve dynamic binding. We are missing one thing is virtual keyword because it correct our function. I want to create user and super user. So user name U and the super user name S. Create list of pointers. I will push both. User dot push back. We are going to give address of user. So we are going to emphasis signs back user address underneath back super user address. So we are going to call S. User deep down is still user. It inherits from user class. Let's make list. So going to make list here. List user pointer static. Users that user inherit user and this one super user. So we are going to add here list stack includes list. I want to create each loop here pointer. So for user Eric USR user का pointer का ptr users invoke function called get permission, so we going to make sign get permission. It should dynamically bind appropriate functions. So now we are going to run our program. So we are going to run, and it will say user can see limited info and super user can see all the info. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching.
Hi everyone, Assalamu alaikum. This is Aiza, and today we are going to discuss the topic about static binding in C++. So, first of all, I will go through with the first meaning of the binding, that what is binding. In order to understand what is static binding, firstly we need to understand that what is binding. So binding means associating the call of a function with its definition of a function. That means that it's a call of function with its definition of a function. It's binding. And as same as now we come to the part of static binding, that what is static binding. In static binding, all of the necessary information that associate is available at compile time, as you can see. So a static binding is all of the necessary information is performed and association is available at a compile time. The association happening in compile time that is called a static binding. And another name of static binding is our early binding and a compile time binding. So it's we can say it's a fast program. So it's early binding, we can say. Another name of it is compile time binding. As I told you, the process of associating the call of a function with its definition of a function is happening during the compile time, and it's not happening in the runtime. So we're gonna make a progress more faster. And furthermore, static binding happens by using the default of call of a normal function and overloading and operator overloading. So, so we have static binding happen by default using of a normal function, overloading, and operator overloading. All right. So what are we gonna do in this function? We are creating is as overloading function. All right. First, let's demonstrate in a program. Let's write it down, and as you can see, I've write it down for you guys to understand in a better way. So let's create two function. One is called sum numbers, and then create three numbers with the float. So it's float sub numbers, it's float a and float b. What we're gonna do, we put in first function uh, two numbers, and in second function three numbers. So in float sum numbers, first function is with two numbers, and then we're gonna return in a plus b, and then in other function we put these three numbers, float a, b, and c, and return we a plus b and c. As same we as integer numbers, we what we're gonna do is see out sum numbers 1 and 2, and then the procedure right down as it is end up, and then the first function is this. As you can see, this is the call of a function, this is the definition of a function, and same as it is, this is the call of a function, and same, this is the definition of a function. So as we run this, what we're gonna get is we get these three. At as same in static binding, we run two numbers. So what we're gonna receive in its definition of function, we already know that at compile time. So this is a stating binding. We already, if we run any program, we already know the results at the compile time. So this is the stating binding. Hope you guys understand that. And if you have any further queries, you can ask me. And this is it. And if you have any further questions, inquiries, you can ask me in the class, or you can ask me in below comments. Alright, so hope you like it. Bye bye.